When we say the MAGA movement doesn't believe in democracy or fair elections, stuff like this is what we're talking about. Republicans in Nebraska are basically trying to rig their state's election laws at the last minute to help Trump in the 24 election. So in U.S. presidential elections, most states are winner-take-all systems. You know, if you are the candidate that wins Florida, you get all 30 electoral votes from Florida. If you're the candidate that wins Montana, you get all 4 electoral votes from Montana, so on and so on. Nebraska, however, is one of the only states that does it different. They hand out 2 electoral college votes for whoever wins the state overall, but then they have 3 different congressional districts that if you win any of those districts individually, you get another single electoral college vote for winning that district. And now literally, just in the last 2 days, Republican lawmakers in Nebraska are scrambling to try and change its state election law to turn it into a completely winner-take-all state when it comes to the electoral college. And the reason they're doing that is because of this. This is Nebraska's 2nd U.S. congressional district. I'm going to be calling it NE2 for the rest of this video. That's kind of what people refer to it as. NE2 is basically the city of Omaha and its surrounding area. It's much more racially diverse. It's much more liberal than the rest of the state of Nebraska, which is very deep red otherwise. Obama won NE2 in 2008. Biden won NE2 in 2020. So in each of those cases, even though Obama and Biden lost the state of Nebraska by a pretty sizable margin, they were able to pick up a single electoral college vote by, doing really well in this, basically the city of Omaha. And so now look at this. This is a potential electoral college map for the 24 election if Biden wins Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin and NE2. He's right at 270. He's right at the 270 votes that will put him in the White House for a second term. He doesn't need Arizona. He doesn't need Georgia. He doesn't even need Nevada. As long as he has the kind of quote-unquote blue wall that we always talk about, plus NE2, Biden's the president again. And I want to be clear, this is not like a pie in the sky, kind of like lightning in a bottle, once in a million potential map. If Biden's going to win re-election, this actually could be the most realistic map that gets him there. He's doing really poorly in Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada compared to where he was 4 years ago. He's losing a lot of kind of support at the margins with Latino voters and some black voters, especially black men. So it makes sense that he's trending a little lighter in these 3 swing states, but he's showing surprising resilience in this blue wall state, which is a little bit whiter. He's from Scranton, so he has kind of like authentic roots in this region. He helped save the auto industry as vice president, so like he's still strong in these spaces, and he's still likely going to be very strong in NE2, which is a much more liberal city in the surrounding red state of Nebraska. So if you take NE2 out of that equation, the electoral map is actually 269 to 269. It's a tie. What happens in a tie? It actually goes to state delegations in the House of Representatives, which are going to have a Republican majority when you look at all 50 kind of as a cross section. So really a tie is a win for Trump. If we wake up the day after election day and it's 269 to 269 in the electoral college, Trump is almost certainly guaranteed to be the next president. So Nebraska's unique election law has been on the books for 30 years, 8 presidential cycles. It's never once been controversial. Donald Trump himself won NE2 in 2016, so it's not like Democrats are the only party that dominates that district by any means. But then 2 days ago, this guy, Charlie Kirk, who you might recognize, he's one of the rising stars of the MAGA political pundit movement. He sends out a tweet basically outlining all the information that I just told you guys, the viewers, that if Biden holds the blue wall and wins NE2, he's at 270. So Charlie Kirk points that out in a single tweet. Within 2 days, that tweet has more than 2 million views on X. And all of Nebraska's state lawmakers and the Republican governor are now throwing out all of their other legislative priorities to try and pass a law in the last week of the legislative session that will change Nebraska's election laws to a winner-take-all electoral college system. Now, mind you, this bill, which Republicans are trying to fast-track to the governor's desk before their legislative session wraps next week, has been sitting in committee, twiddling its thumbs for more than a year, uncontroversially. No one considered this a priority at any level of the Nebraska state legislature, Democrat or Republican. But one diehard Trump-supporting MAGA extremist pundit sends out a tweet, and Nebraska's GOP throws everything out the window to mobilize around trying to throw 30 years of precedent in their state election laws out the window to help Trump. That is how deep the Trump cult of personality runs in the Republican Party and the MAGA movement right now. This is not normal. This is not democracy. This is extremism in its most out in the open, mask off form.